Hey everybody, welcome back to our fat quarter sew along. We're going to be doing part 2 today, but I thought before we start I might just do a quick recap of what happened last time. So in the last video we picked 9 fabrics, 9 fat quarters. We set 4 of the fat quarters aside and we kept 5 of the fat quarters out. We ironed them and then we made them into a rough square, and then we cut through them, moved one of the layers down to the bottom and sewed them together. Now, because I had a few people say that they couldn't see real well, I thought what I would do is quickly just show you that first process again. So I've got another fat quarter here, and what you do with all of your 5 fat quarters, and again it's very hard to get this into the whole picture, but we're going to fold it over like this, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just rough is fine. We're not squaring up until the very end. And then either with your scissors or with your rotary cutter, you're going to cut this bit off here. So you've got a rough square. And we're going to do that with all 4 fabrics, or all 5 I mean, 5 of the fat quarters, until we get a little stack. Okay, I've cut all 5 fat quarters into squares, and they're not perfect squares. They're not all the same. They're just squarish. See how that one's smaller? Doesn't matter. No stress. Then we're going to stack them as best we can on top of each other. Once we've done that, we're going to take the ruler and we're going to cut them in half. So on a nice angle, doesn't matter where it goes. Last time I went that way, I could go this way this time, doesn't matter. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go a bit closer up this time so you'll be able to see. And I'm going to cut through all 5 layers to that end to end, side to side. Okay, now we've done that, I'm going to take this top layer and put it down the bottom. And stack the other 4 on top of it. And then we're going to take this one, pop it flat on this one, grab our handy dandy pin cushion, which I will do a tutorial on when I get the time. I've just got a lot of things planned at the moment, but when I get a chance I'll definitely do a tutorial on how to make this pin cushion. So we pin it, and again try not to stretch the fabric because this has been cut on the bias. And once all the layers are pinned, we're going to just sew down here, sew them together, press them, and we're going to press the seams open, which I will show you on one that I've already done. This one here. So that's what we're going to do with them. So that was last time. All right. I'm going to set this aside because I will finish it. I want to turn this one into a charity quilt for the bushfires. We had 5 houses lost in the next town over. So I thought it might be nice to make something just to bring a bit of cheer to their lives. All right, now that you've done that, this is step 2. We're going to grab all of these and we're going to stack them up again on top of each other, and we're going to roughly line the seams up. But again, it's just really rough. Nothing has to be perfect, nothing has to match in this quilt. Okay. These are pretty okay. They're good enough. I'm gonna stack them all nice and flat, and then you've probably guessed it, we are gonna do another cut. So I'm going to go fairly close to the edge here, and I'm going to cut that way. Well, when I say the edge, that I'm not going to leave much space there, a bit more there. This is the tricky part. Make sure you got a nice sharp blade because we're going through a lot of seams here. And just keep your ruler down until you've gotten through all those thick seams. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take 2 of these, top 2, and we're putting them on the bottom. And the other 3 will go back up there. And I'm pretty sure you know what's going to happen next. We're going to be sewing that to that one, etc., etc. Now again, you don't need to match up the seams. Don't stress. If they match up nicely, they match up nicely. If they don't, they don't. We're not looking for matched seams here. So I'm just going to move this because it's a bit awkward pinning on an angle like that. And you'll see later on that the seams will not match anyway, even if you try to match them up, because we're doing the seams like we're matching up the sides, not the seams. Okay? All right. There. That's all pinned, and then we're going to sew down there. I'm going to go and do that, and I'm going to do it off camera so that we save time, and I'll come back here when I've finished sewing. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back again. I've got all these nicely sewn together. And you can kind of get a picture of what the blocks are going to look like. That. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set seams by pressing the seams with the iron, and then we're going to press the seams open like we did here. I'll be right back. Okay, I've pressed all the seams open, and I just wanted to show you something. You can see here, maybe you can see here, that this seam is not at all a 1/4 inch here. Because it's on the bias, and even though I pinned, it still slipped and it went under, like it moved. So I ended up not having a 1/4 seam allowance. This is easy to fix, and I am going to fix it. Why am I going to fix it? Because this could rip quite easily later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this sewing, to the ironing board, and I'm going to iron it flat, and I'm going to go back and sew a 1/4 inch I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch on this side. I'm not going to worry about that green bit. I'm not going to unpick. I'm just going to use the pink as my at the side of my foot, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch. So I will be back and show you that. Okay, and there it is. I've sewn a 1/4 inch away from the pink edge, and now I'm going to go and press. Now you're not going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to get this open again, because obviously it's only going to open to that little bit. So I'm just going to press it to one side. It'll be fine. Okay, so this is how I pressed it. I pressed that to the green, the dark side, and then I just let that stay flat. And if you look on the other side, you can't tell. It looks fine. Alrighty, so there was another one that was the same. This one here, but that's fairly close to the edge, and I'm not going to stress about that because it'll probably get trimmed off. If it doesn't get trimmed off, I can work on that later. Alright, so now we're going to flip them all around. Oh, there goes my rotary cutter. You should never drop your rotary cutter on a concrete floor, because guess what? It's going to need a new blade now. Oh well. Alright, once again we're going to line them up pretty much along the seams. As you can see, some of them, like the, let me see, which one was it? That one actually matched by chance, but these haven't matched the seams, and they don't have to. I'm not looking to match anything here. Okay, now it's all sitting nice and flat. I can feel that all the seams are on top of each other. I am going to flip it around like, whoa, like that. And you can guess what we're going to do next. Pick up our rotary cutter and see if it still cuts. But we're going to give it another cut. And you can do it any way you want. You can do it like that. I think I'm going to do it like this. Oh, my poor rotary cutter. Oh, that was pretty good. All right. So, with this next step, we're not going to pick up 1 or 2 or 3. We're actually going to see if we can get them matched fairly evenly. So this one, we don't have a green in this block yet, so I'm going to probably put this one there, even though the yellow's against each other. Again, don't overthink it. That's going to get matched up. This one doesn't have red, so it'll be perfect to put that one there. And again, it's a green, so it looks like if we take the top one, but you can match it up with other ones if you want to. Like you could even put 2 pink bits on this one if you want, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just do that. But this step is entirely your choice. You can decide which ones go together. This one needs another, it's a pink. And now we have all 5 colors in each block. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and pin all of these together and sew them. And I'm going to keep a better eye on making sure these match and I don't get little seams. So again, don't stress. This is a no stress project. It's going to be pretty in the end. And as you can see, it's giving a crazy quilting sort of look to it, which is kind of fun. And everybody's quilt's going to be different because everyone's going to put a different, cut it in a different way. So that's also a bit of fun. It's really nice to see how everyone's, like I've done this, I've taught this as a class before, and it's fun to see how everybody's quilt turns out differently. All right, I'm going to keep pinning and I'm going to sew and I will be back. Okay, they're all sewn together and I'm going to go and press them, and then we're going to have a look at the blocks. I got to the ironing board and I realized one of my blocks was missing, but I found it, so all good. Okay, let's have a look at the blocks. So we got that one, which is pretty, and this one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, now at this stage, if you wanted to, you could stack them all up nice and neatly again, because I haven't done that, and match all the seams. And you could, if you wanted to, do another cut, because like this is quite a big piece, so you could cut like that, or you could even go from here to there, or you could go across the whole thing like that. Then you still got one big piece there. You can basically keep cutting as many times as you like. I want to keep them fairly, the size is fairly big, although it is tempting to cut it through there, which would turn it more into a square. So you know what? I think I'm going to do that. And at least we're getting this a little bit smaller. But if you want to leave yours big, then go ahead and leave them big. So I'm going to stack them up in no particular order. Just going to match up all the seams again. That. And like that. Okay, now which way did I say I was going to do it? I think I was going to do it that way, wasn't I? Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm just going to turn it around to make it a bit easier to cut. I'm going to cut through right through there. Definitely going to need to get a new blade put in here, which is a bit annoying. All right, so this is what we're going to do now, and again, just pick the ones you want. I might see what happens if I pick 2 up. That's got too much yellow. I'm not doing that one. I think I'll do that one with that one. I don't mind those 2 together, so I'm going to do them. How about, oh, that's green and green there. Don't overthink it, Joy. I might do that. And the last 2, I like that one. And that one. Okay, so I'm going to go and do the same thing. I'm going to pin them together, sew them. I'm going to press them, and then I'll come back here. Okay, I'm back again. And my my phone on the tripod that I've got for it right now has slowly throughout the video turned. So I do apologize. I have ordered another tripod that is quite heavy duty, and I'm hoping that will solve a lot of my problems. All right, so now we've got this block. I'll do it right. Goes that way. Now you can see how all of these are all different shapes. All right, this has got a big bit sticking out there. That doesn't matter. So I'm quite liking how these turned out. And if you wanted to make it smaller, you could still do another cut that way, because these are quite big, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as is. You can make as many cuts as you want in your quilt. It's your quilt, so your choice, but this is how many cuts I'm making. So that's pretty much it for today. I will be back probably at the end of the week with part 3. So if you can get this far, and you know what, I'm making that second quilt. I might even try and go a little bit smaller, like do that extra cut with the second quilt, just to see what it looks like. But like I said, everyone's blocks are gonna be different. So I'm quite liking how these are looking so far. So I hope if you're joining in, you're having fun. And I'll see you soon in the 3rd and last video for this sew along. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.